experience to its full potential. There wouldn't be another for some time, at least a year. His primary rule: one annual kill, like a deer hunter procures a seasonal doe permit. He was already breaking another important rule this evening by hunting so close to the northeastern Pennsylvania mountain town that he called home. But what fun it was going to be to watch the fallout around him instead of from a discreet distance. Maddie stood on the uneven sidewalk for a few seconds, inserting her earbuds, selecting music on her iPod, and stretching her calves. Then she jogged off toward the footpath that led to her favorite trail. Her brown ponytail swished in rhythm with her toned thighs, those bright sneakers arcing like beacons in the darkness. His Maddie was routine-oriented. He loved that about her. There was no need to follow her. He knew exactly where she was going. The development of 20-year-old homes backed up against township green acres that had been a working farm many years ago. For the next 30 minutes, she would jog on the rough trail that looped its perimeter. He glanced at his watch. Soon she would run through the wooded portion of her route, the location he'd chosen as their rendezvous point. All he needed was the next quarter of an hour to proceed as usual. He pulled away from the curb and drove out of the complex. A half-mile down the road, he turned into an unmarked vehicle entrance. At the rear of the empty gravel parking lot, his tires crunched on the narrow dirt lane that continued past a retention pond. In the winter, the community used its frozen surface for ice skating and hockey games, but the rest of the year, the area didn't get much use. He parked behind a clump of trees where no one would see his car. The trail was just ahead. Maddie was slender, but dead weight was difficult to carry. He didn't want to work harder than necessary. No point expending his energy when he had a whole night of fun planned. He got out of the car. A chilly, wood-smoke-tinged breeze crossed his face. Though the month had been unseasonably warm, the temperature was dropping with the light. He donned black nylon athletic pants and zipped a similar jacket over his clothes. The baggy outer garments disguised both his clothing and his shape. The trees thickened. Evergreens mixed with the red and gold of turned leaves, as many underfoot as overhead. He patted his pockets to check his supplies, though he knew he had everything he needed. Plastic ties, gloves, ski mask, check. He pulled the knit ski mask out and tugged it over his head. The gloves went on next. He rolled his neck until it cracked, then loosened up his shoulders. The hunt was on. He glanced at his phone. Maddie would be passing in just a few minutes. This was true open space, just woods and trees and grass. No soccer fields, no baseball diamonds, no dog park. And like tonight, typically no other people. He only needed a few minutes to subdue her and secure her in his vehicle. He heard the crunch of dead leaves and the soft thuds of her shoes on the trail before he saw her. As she approached, he tucked his head down and moved into the shadows at the edge of the path. Coming from the lighter open area into the darker woods, Maddie wouldn't see him. He knew, because he'd checked during the dry run he executed the previous night at precisely the same time. He was invisible. There was no hesitation in her stride as she ran past. Overconfident. That was Maddie. Showtime. The buzz in his veins heated and rushed into his head. It had been a long time since his last kill, but if Christmas happened every day, it would lose its holiday luster. A burst of adrenaline fueled his steps as he charged her. She turned. Her eyes went wide. He launched his body at her, but she stumbled backward just before contact. He fell short, landing on his knees in front of her. Her mouth opened and she turned to run again. Her shrill scream pierced the cold air and echoed in the woods. Shit! He caught her around the legs, tackling her to the ground. The impact with the earth cut off her scream. Her breath hissed from her lips. He flipped her to her back, crawled on top of her, and pinned her body flat with his hips, then covered her mouth with a gloved hand. No more screaming. If people had heard, they would listen for another sound. When the noise wasn't repeated.